everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are diving into the exciting world of Python arithmetic operations. I know arithmetic might sound like the most boring topic, but trust me, it's the backbone of every cool program you have ever used. Now let's start to perform basic arithmetic operations in Python. The arithmetic symbols which we use in Python are as follows. Plus for addition, and then minus for subtraction, then star asterisk for multiplication, right slash for division, and percentage for modulus. These are the basic arithmetic symbols which we use for performing arithmetic operations in Python. Now let's try to add two numbers in Python. Let's take two variables a and b. Let's say a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 2. Now to add a and b, we are gonna use a plus b and we want to print it. So type print, and inside print type a plus b. Okay. Now if you run the code, you can see that a and b has been added here. See, 10 plus 2 is 12. This is how we perform arithmetic operations in Python. Now, so we don't give double quotes. If we give double quotes and then type a plus b, it prints a plus b as it is, because whatever we give inside the double quotes, the print function prints as it is. Okay, so remove the double quotes and then we should add it. Okay, so let's make the program look much cooler than this. Let's type the addition of a and b is, comma, then type the operation you want to perform, a plus b. Now if you run the code, you might be able to see the output. The addition of a and b is 12. See? Now let's perform the other operations like subtraction, multiplication, division and modulus. The subtraction of a and b is a minus b for subtraction. We use minus symbol for subtraction. Close the quotes, give a comma and a star b. So we have performed addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modulus. Now let's check the output. So here we can see the output: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and then modulus. Okay. Now let's solve some basic inputs which is seen in this question paper. So you might be able to see these questions, right? So we are going to solve each and every questions from this paper. Okay, now let's solve our first question. Now it's given sp is equal to x plus y plus x. Now so we are going to get the input from the user for the value of x and y. Okay, to get the input from the user, instead of declaring ourselves any variable, we are going to get the input from the user. So to get an integer input, as we are assigning integer values for the variables here, we are going to get the integer input from the user. So we give int of input of. So if you want to get some name or something, we give name is equal to input, and then we type whatever you type here will be asked there. See, now it will ask for enter your name. Yeah, isn't it? So I'm giving my name. So this is for string input. If you want to get an integer input, then you'll be giving int of input of. Now I am getting the value for x. X is equal to int of input of, enter a value for x. Then I am getting a value for y. Okay, now after that, what's the question? SP is equal to x plus y plus x, right? Then we are going to print SP. So the answer is SP is equal to, the answer is SP. We are giving this variable here, so it will print the output. Now let's run and check. So the value for x is 5 and y is 10. So the answer of SP is 20. Okay, that's all. Now let us solve the second sum. What's the question? V is equal to x plus y by m into n. So here there are 4 variables. So we get the input for all the 4 variables. Int of input of, enter x. Then for y, then for m, then we get the input for n also. Now what's the sum? Question is V is equal to x plus y divided by m into n. So this is the question. We are performing this operation and then we are printing. We are printing the output, which is stored in the variable v. Okay, now let's check the output. So I give the value for x as 5 and y is 2. Then I am entering the value for m is 7 and n is 6. So this is the value. This is the answer for the question. Let's try a different number. Five, 6 and 1. Okay. So now let's move to the third question. the question is x is equal to a plus b into c plus d. Here also we are going to get the input for two variables. A is equal to int of input of enter a, b is equal to int of input of enter b, c is equal to int of input of enter c, and then d is equal to int of input of enter d. So we have got the input for four variables a, b, c and d. Okay, now we are going to perform the arithmetic operation which is given there. X is equal to a plus b into b into b, sorry, a plus b into c plus d. Right. Now I am printing the value of x, which is stored in the variable x. Okay. Now let me check the output. Six and then 2. So this is the value of x. Okay. This is how you just do and see the remaining questions 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So as I already told you, these are the basic arithmetic operations and the symbols which we use in Python. So using these symbols, plus, minus, multiplication, division, then modulus. So using these symbols only we perform all the other arithmetic operations. So we just try to do the remaining sums from 1 to 10. Now let's solve the question, the circle. Okay. Here they have asked a is equal to pi r square or pi d square by 4. Let's go with pi r square. Okay, so for pi r square, we all know, right, we are gonna get the input here for r only because the pi value is universally 3.14. okay, so we are declaring the value of pi, that is 3.14, and we are getting the input from the user for r. R is equal to int of input of enter a value for r. So now what they have asked is a is equal to pi r square, right? For that, what we are going to do is a is equal to, first they asked pi r square, pi into r square. For square, we are going to use the function in Python called POW, okay, for powering. So pi into power of r comma 2, because they have asked square, right, r square, r2. So r comma 2, a is equal to the value of pi into power of r comma 2, which means r square. Now let's print the output. Print value of a is equal to a. Now let's check the output. Understood, right? Pi into r square. So pi into, for r square we are using the function POW, inside the bracket r, the value which we are multiplying r, and the power of that, which is 2. So I am giving the value for r is 5. So the answer is 78.5. So this is how we are going to solve power values in Python. So if they ask for any r square or r cube or something, we are going to give the function, use the function POW, inside the brackets the variable, comma the power. cube or square, etc. Here they have asked r power 2, so we are giving 2. Okay, now let's solve the other value also, where they have given circle, area of sector below that, right? Area of sector of circle, which is equal to, we are gonna get, already we have the value for r, right? So we don't get any input here, directly we can solve the sum. So area of sector of circle is equal to 0 into pi into, what is it, power, right? Power of r comma 2, then divided by 360, that's what is given, right? 360. We give this inside the bracket. We know the Bard-Mass rule, right? So first the bracket will be executed. Bracket. Okay. Is it right? 0 pi r square divided by 360. Let's print it. Print area of sector of circle is equal to area of sector of circle. Okay, now let's run the program. Here we get answer for both. First, a is equal to pi into r square, right? I give the value for r is 5, so this is what the answer is. Okay, now let's solve the next sum for cube. Okay, let's create a new file, a Python file. Here they have asked s is equal to 6s square for the surface area of cube. So now we are going to get one variable, just one variable here, which is s from the user, right? S is equal to int of input of enter value for s. Okay, then we are going to solve this sum. We'll give small s for this. S is equal to 6s square, so 6 into power of s square. Okay, now we are gonna print the s. Answer for s is s. That's all. Now we'll run and see the program. So I'm giving the value of s is 10. So the answer is 600. Okay, fine. Now you do the remaining sums and all. Right circular cone, right circular cylinder, cuboid, and all it is there. Now let us go for the square root sums, which is the tetrahedron, and then we have regular hexagon. Okay, now let's solve the sum for tetrahedron. Okay, go to file and create a new file, which is a Python file. Okay, now for tetrahedron, they asked area of its slant is equal to 3a square square root of 3 by 4. Okay, 3a square square root of, wait 1 second. Okay, here, right. 3a square square root of 3 by 4. Okay, so in Python, for square root alone, as we have already seen POW for powers, then for square root we have sqrt function, math.sqrt. To use this function, we want to import a module named math. We will see briefly about importing the modules in future, but now as we include the headers in C program, math.h and string.h and all in C program, same way we use math module in Python to use the square root function. Okay, so I'm importing the math here, math module here, as it is asked for square root. Then the question is 3a square root of into square root of 3 by 4. So I'm getting a value for a first. Okay, I'm getting the value for a is equal to input of enter a value for a. Okay, I'll get the input from the user for the variable a. Then the question which they have asked is area of its slant sides. Okay, for that tetrahedron, right? So I will declare it as t is equal to, they have asked 3a square. First, for 3a square I'll do 3 into a square. For a square I'm using the power function a comma 2 a square. Then they have asked into pi into square root of 3 by 4. So I'm using into square root, I'm using math.sqrt function. Okay, math.sqrt, which one? 3 by 4. I want to find the square root for 3 by 4. As it has asked, I've given 3a square and then into square root of 3 by 4. Now let's print the output. Print the value of t is t. Okay, now let's check the output. Now let me choose the Python debugger. Now let's check the output. So I'm giving the value for a is 10. So I got the answer for t. Okay, 3 power 3 into a square into square root of 3 by 4. This is how we will solve square root in Python. Now let's do the next sum also, which is regular hexagon. Let me create a new Python file. And what they have asked, 3 into square root of 3 into, right, 3 into square root of 3 power a comma power a square, right, power into a square divided by 2. Okay, fine. Okay, for this we are going to get the a value from the user itself. Okay, here also it has asked for square root, so I am importing the math module, and then I am getting the value for a, which is int a is equal to int of input of enter a. Then down they have asked for the area, right, which has given 3 into what I have given, square root of this whole thing. Which one? Math dot sqrt square root of 3 into power of a comma 2, which is again further divided by 2. That's what it is asked, right? 3 into square root of a power 2 divided 3 into a power 2 divided by 2. Okay, now let's run the output. Print, I'm printing area. Okay, area of regular hexagon is what? Area. Now let's check the output. a is equal to 6 I'm giving. So the area of regular hexagon is, this is what the answer, 22.04540786, etc. So this is how we will solve power and square root. For power we use, for the power we use this POW and then the variable which we want to power and the power of square or cube or anything. Okay, and then for square root we import math function, math module in Python. Okay, and then after importing we use math.sqrt, and then inside that we give the values like what is given, 3, 6 or something, whatever it is given. Okay, then for addition we use plus, subtraction minus, and then multiplication is star, and for division is right slash, and for modulus is percentage. So these are the basic arithmetic operations and operators which we use in Python. Now let me give you a simple tasks in arithmetic operations. So I'll give you a logical question, you are gonna answer for that using these arithmetic functions. I'll give you the hint also. Now let's see how to convert a negative number into positive, and a positive number should be the same. Let's take a is equal to minus 10. So if you want to convert a negative number into positive, we should power the number by 2 and then square root it. As we are gonna square root, I'm going to input the math function. Then let's take absolute positive, AP is equal to, first we need to power it, power by 2. Then the whole power answer must be square rooted. So math.sqrt. Okay, so square root of power of a comma 2. Now when I print a, the answer is AP. Now let's see the output. So the output is 10.0. The number is converted into a positive number. What if I give 10? Then the number remains the same. See, this is how we should convert a negative number into a positive number. Okay, now let's see how to find the last digit of the given input. For example, let's say a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3. Now to find the last digit of the number, we should modulus the value by 10. Any number which is modulus by 10 gives us the last digit of that number. Let's try it. Let's say answer is equal to a modulus of 10. The last digit is ANS. So when I run the program, I get the last digit 3. Okay, this is not only for this number, any number you give, and if you run the program, if you modulus it by 10, then you get the last digit of the number, whatever it is. See, we're getting 8, right? This is how we find the last digit of a number. Now let us do a task. I'll give you 4 numbers, which is 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'll give you a number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you are going to find these numbers without printing them. That is, if you print n, you might get the value for n, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but I don't want that. See, I don't want like this. I want you to find what is n without printing n. You are going to get the input from the user and you are going to find the number but without printing n. Okay, the hint here is use arithmetic operations. That's the hint. So you are gonna solve this task and you can take your own time. Those who have not done can follow me here. Let's assume n. The value n is equal to int of input of, let's assume that the user has given a 4-digit number 1, 2, 3 and 4. What we are going to do here is we are going to find each digit. Okay, so we are going to find each digit of the number. Okay, so let's take, as it is a 4-digit number, we take 4 variables a, b, c and d. Okay, so to find the first number, I am dividing the number by 1000, and then so what happens here is when the number 1, 2, 3 and 4 is divided by 1000, 1 times it becomes 1000 and the remainder is 2, 3 and 4. So the quotient will be the value here for this division, right? So a becomes 1. Then in the next step, for c, to find the last number, as we have discussed before, I am dividing the I am doing the modulus of 10. Okay, when I do the modulus of 10, I get the last number which equals to 4, right? 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? When we modulus it, by 10, we get the answer 120 times becomes 1000, remainder is 4. Okay, so this becomes the value for C. Okay, the same way, and I'm finding B. So now what I'm doing here is for B, I'm doing the modulus of 1000. Okay, modulus of 1000 here, not 10. Okay, when I do modulus of 1000, I get the answer 2, 3 and 4, right? So this is A, this is C, and B becomes 2, 3, 4, right? 2, 3 and then 4. And then D is equal to B minus C, which equals, B is 234 minus C is 4, 230, right? So D becomes 230. Okay, now we found that, what are all the answers we found? A is equal to 1, B is equal to 234, C is equal to 4, and then D is equal to 230, right? So now we found 1 and 4, right? We have to find each and every digit. So we have found 1 and 4. So the remaining 2 and 3 should be separated, right? We have 2 and 3 in B, right? Let's forget about this D. Okay, now, so for that, what I'm doing is taking two variables B1 and B2. What I'm doing here is I'm going to divide this B by 100, and then B2 is modulus of 100. Okay, so what happens here is when I divide this B by 100, what is B here? 234, right? When I divide 234 by 100, what happens here is 2 times becomes 200. So the answer is 34, right? So I got B1 is equal to 34. So we got 3 and 4 here, right? Also but that's not the answer here. So quotient, right? The quotient will be the answer for this division. So the answer is 2. And then for B2, this is the answer, 34, which is the modulus. And so we got 2 separately, right? We got A, we got C, and then now we got B. And then to find 3 separately, the same method. As you all guessed, B3 will be equal to B2, which is mod divided by 10, is equal to, what is it? B2, which is 34, right? B2 divided by 10, 3 times 34, sorry 30, remaining is 4. Now we got 3 also here, right? So okay, now we got 3 also here. So we got A is equal to 1, B1 is equal to 2, B3 equals 3, and then D which equals to 4, sorry, C which equals to 4, right? This is what we got. Okay. Now, so we are going to print that, okay? We are not going to print like print A, B, C, D, it comes 1, 2, 3, 4, but we are not going to do that, okay? What we are going to do is, I want you to print the same numbers what the user given. The user gave 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I want the same number, not 1, 2 and 3, 4. I want the 1, 2, 3, 4 the user watch which he exactly gave. So what I'm going to do here is same, a simple math function only. So we have got all these 4 numbers, right? We have got all these 4 numbers. Now I'm going to put x, okay? X is what we are going to find. That is the number which user gave. The number which user gave is n. We are going to find x, the same number, okay? So the x is equal to, it's a 4-digit number, right? So x is equal to A into 1000 plus B2 into 100 plus B3, sorry, plus B1 into 10 plus C, okay? Now the answer becomes 1000 plus 200 plus 10 plus 4, right? Now it becomes 1234, which is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this is how we have found the number which the user gave for the value n without printing it by using the print function. Now in the next tutorial you are going to reverse these numbers. So if the user gave 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to find the numbers first and then you have to reverse them. Now in the second task, I want you all to find the number and then reverse it. That is, we'll be finding 1, 2, 3, 4 as we have done before, but I want you to print 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to find the number and print it in reverse. Those who have not found the answer, here's the hint. See, I'll solve the sum. So already we have found all these things, right? Before itself we found the answer for 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? And now what we are going to do is the same steps, but here instead of doing A is equal to 1000, A into 1000, X is equal to A into 1000 plus B into 100 plus C into, like that, we are going to reverse the order alone. That is, now n will be X will be equal to, the last value which we found was C, right? 4, C into 1000 plus, what is 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, so 3 is B3, right? B3 into 100 plus B2 into 10 plus 1, sorry, plus A, right? So when you do this, we get 4000 plus 300 plus 220 plus 1. So we get the answer 4321. Similarly, now if I want to change a particular order, for example, if I want to get 1, 3, 2 and 4. So now what I will do, the same method, but here the value of x will be is equal to, the first number will be A, right? 1. So A is 1. So A into 1000 plus, we want to change the order to 3. So we do B3 into 100 plus B2 into 10 plus C. So we get the answer x is equal to A, which is 1, A, which is equal to 1000 plus 300 plus 20 plus 1, which will be equal to 1321. So this is the answer. So this is how we perform arithmetic operations in Python programming language. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you are serious about leveling up your Python skills, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. By doing so, you will stay updated with our latest tutorials and ensure continuous development in your Python journey. Remember, mastering Python is a journey, not a destination. So join us in this adventure, keep coding and never stop learning. If you have any doubts, questions or topics you would like us to cover in future tutorials, feel free to drop a comment below. Happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video.